Have you ever felt a sense of discomfort in social settings? A quiet longing for solitude over the noise of constant interaction? If so, you're not alone. In a world that often celebrates extroversion and social engagement, preferring solitude can sometimes feel out of place. But what if this preference is not a flaw, but a strength rooted in your pursuit of clarity, peace, and purpose? The philosophy of Stoicism, championed by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, teaches us that withdrawing from the crowd is not about rejecting others. It's about finding balance and prioritizing what truly matters. For Stoics, solitude is a space for reflection, personal growth, and preserving inner peace. Choosing not to be around people isn't always a sign of dislike. It's often a conscious choice to invest in deeper values and meaningful connections. In this article, we'll explore 5 reasons why you might prefer solitude, each rooted in the teachings of Stoicism. From valuing reflection to seeking freedom from negativity, these reasons aren't just about avoiding others. They're about building a life filled with authenticity, purpose, and tranquility. Let's dive into why choosing solitude can be a powerful path to living a life of integrity and focus. Number 1. The value of solitude for reflection. In today's fast-paced world, filled with endless distractions and constant demands for attention, solitude can feel like a luxury. Yet, for those who embrace it, solitude becomes a sanctuary, a vital space to reflect, grow, and align with one's true purpose. The philosophy of Stoicism highlights the transformative power of self-reflection, viewing it as an essential pathway to wisdom and a life of meaning. At its core, Stoicism teaches that self-awareness is the foundation for living well. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic thinkers, often wrote in his journal about the importance of stepping back from the noise of life to reconnect with one's values and intentions. He believed that solitude wasn't about escaping the world, but about preparing oneself to face it with clarity and strength. When you allow yourself the time to reflect in solitude, you gain the opportunity to evaluate your thoughts, behaviors, and decisions without the influence of external pressures. Solitude provides the clarity needed to recalibrate your actions and intentions. In the quiet moments of being alone, you can assess whether your life aligns with your values. Are your choices reflecting what truly matters to you? Are you moving closer to your goals? Or are you being pulled in directions that don't serve your higher purpose? This self-reflection, unhindered by the distractions of others' opinions or societal expectations, is what allows you to take ownership of your path. The benefits of solitude extend beyond introspection. They are essential for personal growth. When you spend time alone, you cultivate emotional resilience, strengthen your decision-making, and develop a deeper sense of self-reliance. In solitude, you have the freedom to explore your passions, define your goals, and work on becoming the person you aspire to be. This process of self-improvement isn't about perfection, but about progress, learning, adapting, and evolving in alignment with your core values. In practical terms, embracing solitude doesn't mean withdrawing from society altogether. It's about intentionally carving out moments to step away from the busyness of life to reconnect with yourself. You might dedicate a few minutes each morning to journaling, meditate in silence, or take a walk in nature without distractions. These small but intentional acts of solitude create a ripple effect, enhancing your ability to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and calm. As Stoicism reminds us, the journey toward self-mastery begins within. The time you spend alone isn't wasted, it's invested in your growth, clarity, and purpose. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." In these moments of solitude, you can access that retreat, gaining the insight needed to live intentionally and authentically. By embracing solitude for reflection, you nurture a strong inner life, equipping yourself to face the world with confidence and wisdom. Solitude is not isolation. It is empowerment. It is the time you spend with your own thoughts, recalibrating your actions to align with your values, and building a life of meaning and fulfillment. Number 2, prioritizing depth over superficial interactions. It's easy to feel drained by interactions that lack meaning. For those who value depth and authenticity, superficial relationships or small talk can seem tiresome, even counterproductive. This preference for meaningful connections is not a flaw. It's a reflection of your alignment with your values and your desire for relationships that truly enrich your life. Stoic philosophy, particularly the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, underscores the importance of prioritizing depth in our relationships, emphasizing that meaningful bonds are far more valuable than fleeting interactions. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not waste the remaining part of your life in thoughts about others when you are not referring to some aspect of the common good." This wisdom reminds us to focus on what truly matters, including the relationships we nurture. The Stoics believed that connections should bring purpose, understanding, and mutual growth, not just occupy space or time. When you prioritize meaningful relationships, you create a life that reflects your values, fosters emotional well-being, and enhances your sense of purpose. Superficial interactions, by contrast, can feel hollow because they often lack genuine connection or alignment. While small talk and casual acquaintances have their place, constantly engaging in them can leave you feeling unfulfilled. This is especially true for those who seek deeper connections, as superficial interactions rarely provide the emotional or intellectual depth needed for true satisfaction. Prioritizing depth means seeking out relationships that align with your values and encourage mutual growth. This doesn't mean cutting off all casual connections, but rather being intentional about where you invest your time and energy. It's about identifying the relationships that bring meaning to your life and focusing on nurturing them. When you cultivate connections built on trust, shared values, and mutual understanding, you naturally create a stronger, more supportive social circle. Practically, prioritizing depth over superficiality requires self-awareness and intentionality. Start by reflecting on your current relationships. Which ones bring you joy, inspire you, or help you grow? Which ones feel draining or surface level? Once you've identified these patterns, focus on fostering the relationships that truly matter. This might mean spending more time with a close friend who shares your values, or seeking out new connections in communities aligned with your interests. Additionally, don't be afraid to steer conversations toward topics that matter to you. Meaningful connections often begin with meaningful conversations. Ask thoughtful questions, listen actively, and share your own insights. When you approach relationships with authenticity, you naturally attract like-minded individuals who value depth as much as you do. Choosing depth over superficiality is an act of self-respect. It's a commitment to building a life filled with connections that uplift and inspire. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, our time is limited, and how we spend it reflects our priorities. By focusing on meaningful relationships, you create a life of greater fulfillment and purpose, one where every interaction adds value and aligns with who you truly are. Number 3, avoiding negative influences. Negativity, unnecessary drama, and constant distractions, protecting your peace, can feel like an uphill battle. Yet, this is precisely where Stoic philosophy offers profound guidance. The Stoics, including thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, emphasized the importance of maintaining mental clarity and emotional balance by steering clear of negative influences. Avoiding environments or individuals that breed toxicity is not an act of selfishness. It's a commitment to your well-being and a key step toward living a life of purpose and tranquility. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control and let go of what we cannot. This principle applies not only to our internal thoughts, but also to the external influences we allow into our lives. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Negative environments or people who constantly drain your energy fall into the category of outside events. By keeping your distance from these influences, you protect your mental clarity and create room for positivity and growth. One of the main reasons for avoiding negative influences is to preserve your emotional stability. When you surround yourself with negativity, it's easy to absorb those energies, leading to stress, frustration, or even self-doubt. Drama-filled relationships or environments filled with gossip and conflict can cloud your judgment and distract you from what truly matters. The Stoics would remind us that our peace of mind is too valuable to compromise for the sake of pleasing others or maintaining appearances. Practically speaking, setting boundaries is an essential tool in avoiding negative influences. Begin by identifying the people or situations that consistently leave you feeling drained or overwhelmed. Ask yourself, are these interactions adding value to my life, or are they pulling me away from my goals and values? Once identified, take steps to create boundaries. This might mean limiting time spent with certain individuals, politely declining invitations to drama-filled events, or communicating your needs with clarity and firmness. Building a supportive and peaceful social circle is another way to minimize negativity. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire, uplift, and respect your boundaries. Seek out relationships that are rooted in trust, understanding, and mutual growth. This doesn't mean cutting everyone off, but rather prioritizing connections that align with your values and contribute to your well-being. It's also important to remember that avoiding negative influences doesn't require guilt or explanation. Protecting your peace is a form of self-respect, not selfishness. You don't owe anyone an apology for prioritizing your mental and emotional health. Instead, view it as an investment in becoming the best version of yourself. Avoiding negativity allows you to cultivate a life of clarity, purpose, and inner peace. By following the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control, you empower yourself to rise above distractions and negativity, creating a life that reflects your highest values. Protect your peace. It's the foundation for living with intention, strength, and resilience. Number 4. Focusing on personal growth. Distractions and social demands, prioritizing personal growth, can feel like an act of defiance. Yet, Stoic philosophy encourages us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, actions, and the pursuit of our goals. This inward focus doesn't mean rejecting relationships or societal responsibilities. Instead, it's about creating a balance that allows personal growth to flourish alongside meaningful interactions. The Stoics, including Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, often emphasized the importance of self-discipline and intentional living. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This principle applies perfectly to personal growth. When you prioritize your own development, you're choosing to channel your energy into areas where you have true influence: your skills, habits, and mindset. One of the challenges of focusing on personal growth is navigating the potential distractions of social engagements. While human connections are essential, too much socializing or engaging in superficial interactions can detract from the time and focus needed to achieve your goals. By setting clear boundaries and learning to say no to activities that don't align with your priorities, you create space for intentional growth. This isn't about isolation, but about intentionality, spending time with others when it enriches your life while preserving time for self-improvement. To balance social responsibilities with personal growth, it's helpful to structure your time intentionally. Start by identifying your priorities. What are your short-term and long-term goals? What steps do you need to take to reach them? Once you have clarity, allocate time each day or week for activities that align with these goals. This might include learning a new skill, practicing mindfulness, working out, or advancing your career. By scheduling this time, you ensure that your personal growth remains a consistent focus, even amidst other obligations. Equally important is maintaining a disciplined mindset. Personal growth requires consistent effort and resilience, especially when faced with setbacks. The Stoics taught the importance of embracing challenges as opportunities to grow. Epictetus once said, "Difficulties are things that show a person what they are." By reframing obstacles as stepping stones, you strengthen your resolve and deepen your commitment to improvement. It's also crucial to communicate your priorities to those around you. When friends, family, or colleagues understand your goals, they're more likely to respect your boundaries and support your journey. Be clear about when you need uninterrupted time to focus and when you're available for social or collaborative activities. This transparency fosters understanding and helps you build a support system that aligns with your personal growth. Focusing on personal growth is not about rejecting the outside world, but about ensuring that your inner world is strong, disciplined, and aligned with your values. By striking a balance between societal responsibilities and self-improvement, you create a life that reflects intentionality and purpose. As the Stoics remind us, true strength comes from within, and investing in yourself is one of the most powerful ways to navigate the complexities of life with clarity and resilience. Number 5. Being comfortable with independence. Independence is often misunderstood. For some, it can be mistaken for isolation or detachment from others. However, Stoic philosophy teaches us that independence is not about rejecting relationships, but about cultivating inner strength and self-reliance. Being comfortable with independence means finding fulfillment within yourself, an essential trait for living a life of balance and purpose. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca believed in the importance of self-sufficiency. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This wisdom reflects the value of being at peace with oneself. When you're comfortable with independence, you're not relying on others for validation or happiness. Instead, you've built a foundation of inner contentment that allows you to engage with the world from a place of strength and clarity. Choosing independence doesn't mean avoiding relationships or social connections. It means approaching them with intentionality. When you're self-reliant, you're less likely to seek relationships out of neediness or fear of being alone. Instead, you can engage with others in a way that is meaningful and genuine. Your independence enables you to build connections based on mutual respect and shared values, rather than dependency. One of the greatest benefits of independence is the freedom to make choices that align with your values and goals. Without the need for external approval, you're empowered to live authentically. You can pursue your passions, set boundaries, and make decisions that prioritize your well-being. This freedom fosters confidence as you trust your ability to navigate challenges and find fulfillment on your terms. To normalize the idea of independence, it's important to reframe how society views solitude. Being comfortable with being alone isn't a sign of weakness or social awkwardness. It's a testament to your inner resilience and self-awareness. Solitude gives you the opportunity to reflect, recharge, and grow. It's in these moments of quiet that you can connect with your true self and clarify what matters most. Practically speaking, cultivating independence starts with small, intentional steps. Spend time doing things you enjoy on your own, such as reading, hiking, or pursuing a hobby. Practice making decisions without seeking excessive input from others, trusting your instincts to guide you. Over time, these habits strengthen your confidence in your ability to stand on your own. It's also helpful to communicate your comfort with independence to those around you. When you explain that you value solitude as a way to recharge and grow, it helps others understand and respect your needs. This clarity fosters healthier relationships as it sets expectations and reinforces boundaries. Independence is not about being alone, but about being whole. When you're comfortable with independence, you create a life that is rich, purposeful, and aligned with your values. As the Stoics remind us, true strength comes from within. By embracing independence, you empower yourself to navigate life with confidence and grace, building meaningful connections without losing sight of your own identity. Choosing to spend less time around people doesn't make you antisocial or disconnected. It reflects a conscious decision to prioritize what aligns with your values. As Stoicism teaches us, life is about intentional choices, not obligations to conform to societal expectations. Solitude provides the space to reflect, grow, and seek clarity on what truly matters, allowing you to cultivate a life of purpose and authenticity. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This profound truth reminds us that the answers we seek often lie within, and finding peace in solitude is not isolation, but self-empowerment. By choosing to distance yourself from distractions or negativity, you're not rejecting others. You're embracing the time needed to grow emotionally, spiritually, and intellectually. As you navigate your preference for solitude, remember that it's not about avoiding people, but about valuing your energy and mental space. Surround yourself with those who uplift and inspire, and never feel guilty for seeking the quiet strength that comes from within. In the words of the Stoics, live intentionally, embrace simplicity, and focus on what you can control. The path to true contentment lies in this balance.